First Class Radio, WMRC, WMRCDailyNews.com. Surprise, it's me again. Couldn't get enough of me for the last 3 hours. You got me for another one. It's Living for the Weekend, and we're going to talk about some things that are happening this upcoming weekend and in the weekends to come. There's always something to do. If you're curious as to what's going on that we don't talk about here, always check our events page, and that's not just for the weekends. That is all week long. We've got some great stuff on there. WMRCDailyNews.com. Just click on local events. And you'll get. I look for events on other websites, and I don't think. I could be wrong. Nothing compares locally to what we have right here at WMRCDailyNews.com. I'm not just bragging, and I'm not just biased. I really think we do a good job with our events section. So, again, check that out. On the show today, Jesse Fontaine's going to be joining me, a very talented musician. He's playing the Blackstone Canal Concert Series this Sunday afternoon at Heritage State Park in Uxbridge with his band. Dave Curry's going to be coming in, another musician. He's from Drums for One and All. The Eastern Massachusetts Rhythm Festival is going on this weekend. We'll learn more about that. Vince Lacerbo is going to join me from Peppercini's. He's the owner of Peppercini's here in Milford. He's got one out in Framingham, too. The Great Strides Ride is coming up on September 18th. We've got 2 local families that are affected by cystic fibrosis, so this ride is going to help them out. It's a great day of family fun, entertainment. Plus, we'll just talk about Peppercini's in general, too. I know Vince is always tweaking the menu over there. It's a great place. I do trivia there on Wednesday nights. I host hot trivia, cold beer. A lot of fun. Great people over there. Always something going on at Peppercini's. I was actually there last night. I was having dinner with my wife and some friends. It was her birthday, and they always treat us good over there at Peppercini's. And then Trisha Deck's going to join me from Joker's Wild. They're doing a benefit show at Scioli Saturday night, so we'll find out all about that. And if we're lucky, we'll get a visit from our president, our leader, Mr. Tom McAuliffe. We'll talk about the Radiothon, which is coming up on the 29th, a week from Monday. But as I mentioned this morning, we kick things off on Monday morning with some auctions. Every weekday morning on Daybreak, we're going to be auctioning off an autographed baseball from the Red Sox. Monday, it's Dustin Pedroia. So all morning long, we'll be taking bids. We'll open the bidding at $100 at 6 a.m., and we'll go right up through 9 a.m., try to get as much as we can. All that money is going to go towards the Radiothon on Monday. So if you're looking to give and perhaps get something a little back, there you go. Bid on these balls. This is a great addition to anybody's collection. So let's get the show started, folks. We're going to play a little clip from, we'll play a whole song. I don't have the name of the song. Oh, when Jesse comes in, he'll tell us all about it. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Jesse Fontaine. This is a guy you can see with his band at the Blackstone Canal Concert Series on Sunday. They're playing from 3:30 to 5 o'clock. And here they are. Where are you, Jesse? I got CD down. I got this on. That's up. Oh, there you are. Hold on. Let me start that over. No, that's not it. My CD player isn't working. Please bear with me. That's number 2, and here is number 3. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesse Fontaine.
Do I want you? Oh my, do I, honey? Did I do? Do I need you? Oh my, do I, honey? Did I do? And I'm glad that I'm the one who found you. That's why I'm always hanging around. Do I love you? Oh my, do I, honey? Did I do? Yeah, come on now. do. And I'm glad that I'm the one who found you. And that's why I'm always hanging around you. Do I love you? Oh my, do I, honey? You know I do.
That is Jesse Fontaine. You can hear his music at the Blackstone Canal concert series this Sunday from 3:30 to 5 at Heritage State Park in Uxbridge. And joining me in studio right now is the man himself, Mr. Jesse Fontaine. Hi, Jesse. How are you?
Hey, thank you very much. I'm doing well. How are you doing this morning?
Swinging, man.
Swinging.
I love it.
Just keep it swinging, man.
As soon as I heard that, I'm like, oh, Jay Giles. But it goes back a little bit further than Jay Giles.
It does. It was an old jazz standard back, I think, in the 30s or so that came out. Yeah. Indeed, I do.
Yep.
And many people, like you said, Jake Giles possibly, and Dinah Krall recorded that, and it was just an old standard that went around throughout the ages there. Dean Martin, you know,
and now you get
the whole thing. Hey, now I do it.
Love the hat, by
Put a little twist on it. You like that hat?
Yeah, I have a few at home. I get a lot of compliments on it.
I get it's a good conversation piece.
Now, what do you call that? I don't think it's a fedora. A lot of people call it a fedora, but
a lot of people do, but I don't know what this is.
It's a Sinatra hat. I know
think
that.
it is. It's a Sinatra hat. It's unique.
Yeah.
It lets your head breathe a little bit there. That's pretty good.
Only the swinginess of cats can wear those and get away with it,
You know, I thought about that. That's like, I'm Jesse Fontaine.
That's
I can wear
right.
that hat.
That's
I'm going to wear
do.
that hat.
You're a teacher over at Milford Catholic.
Yes.
And you head up the music department there.
I do.
How do the kids feel? I mean, kids, they look at guys like us at our age and, we can't be cool enough. But, based on that song right there, that's cool. I mean, that's what cool is all about. How do the kids look at you as a teacher?
I think they enjoy the classes and stuff.
Yeah?
And actually, a lot of the kids, the parents and stuff, they bring them to the shows and stuff. So
do they?
We may do this one here in Blackstone. This is a family event.
Yeah.
So there'll be some students there and stuff, and they'll be bopping around.
I just can't get my kid excited. I'm in a band, and then he started playing guitar, and now he's in a band. But he's cooler than I am, even though I'm out gigging, I'm doing stuff. I keep telling him, well, come to the shows or listen to me, or listen to the band. It's just can't be bothered. I'll do my own thing, Dad. Thanks.
But I think in the back, he's thinking you're cool.
I hope so.
That's where he got all that influence from, So.
Yeah. So it's been a while since you've been on the show. What have you been up to?
I've been doing some writing, musically and stuff like that. So hopefully within the next few months, I'll be finishing up some other projects regarding those songs and wrapping that up, and then maybe getting into the studio and doing some more original works, which I've been premiering at some of these shows.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and they've been going over pretty well.
Are these jazz numbers, or do you stick with one specific sound, like we just heard the jazz number there?
That's a very interesting thing. Actually, I don't. I don't try to say the one genre of music, try to bridge stuff together. So we do Frank Sinatra, Fly Me to the Moon, for instance, very popular song. But then I'll throw in Billy Joel, New York State of Mind.
Okay.
Or even to just even really get things a little crazy, we'll go into Man in the Mirror with a quartet feel and have a stand-up bass player playing, and it gives it totally a different dimension.
Well, that's what I love about music like you do. You can take a song that everyone's familiar with, like Man in the Mirror.
Yeah.
You just hear Michael Jackson, it's a pop song.
Right.
But you hear it in such a different way, the way you perform it, I would imagine.
Yes.
With that jazz kick to it.
It does. It has that, but we kind of got it like a gospel type of a feel, and it has that, and that bass with the stand-up really brings in those lulls and sounds and stuff like that. So it really fills it in nicely.
Where's the line between lounge act and what you do? Because you could hear, all you have to do is like tweak somebody's voice just a little bit, and all of a sudden they're lounge.
Right.
And you're not lounge. You're beyond that. I know that. You could do it, I'm sure.
I could do lounge. I have a tendency not to, and I think when booking gigs and stuff like that, and people see some flyers or their first impression is lounge act.
Yeah.
And it's not really that. This is a show. I mean, we have a tight group that's playing this music. What we just heard was with the trio.
Yep.
Be playing on Sunday with the quartet, so we'll have a drummer in there.
Okay. So is it the same guys plus a drummer?
Actually, the recording was different. That was Mr. Paul Gannon on guitar on that, and actually my father was on that playing bass guitar. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. great.
Yeah. So he was playing with me. But this particular gig, we're going to be having Mike Finneran on guitar, Rick Hosgood on drums, and national bassist Genevieve Rose on stand-up.
Oh, wow.
And then I'll play keyboards and sing.
Yeah.
So it should be a great combo. That what we put together. But going back to that lounge act idea, it's just that it's a show, and what we do is we just try to step up that music of jazz just a little bit harder than it would be typically played at.
Right.
And then you bring that rock music down just a little bit, and we get this great mix. And funny that you said that. I was recently back with Dr. Bill Cosby.
Really?
Yes, in February at Symphony Hall.
Okay.
And right before the show, we took about 20 minutes, and we were hanging out backstage, eating some pizza.
He's a big jazz fan.
He totally is.
Yeah.
He totally is. And I was actually had that conversation about combining the music.
Yep.
And I've played with other musicians who won't do that, and they believe it's selling their soul.
Yeah.
And then he went off and he started naming musicians like, did John Mellencamp sell his soul? Does your father sell his soul when he plays the oldies?
Yeah.
And those kind of things, because these other cats won't stray from the jazz genre.
Yep.
And his thing was just play the music that you love.
Yeah, you also want people to listen to it and enjoy it.
And that was my thing was, it has to be enjoyable. And it was And then we started to talk, and it brought me to, the musician Ray Charles.
Yeah.
He never was in a genre of music.
That's right.
He crossed jazz to pop, country and western he did. Yep. We talked about, I think, before that he went into a hip-hop album in the 90s called My World.
Yep.
So he just crossed so many boundaries of music.
Yeah.
And even when the record company was against him at times, saying that you can't do this, and he did it anyways, and the crowd... It only broadened his audience.
Right. You can say the same about the Rat Pack, too. They would do their... Dean Martin had a country album out at one time. And
that's right.
Some gospel stuff.
Yeah.
So a little bit of everything.
And Sammy Davis did, the John Shaft song. He came out and he had the guitar.
That's right. Yeah. So you could, you could still be a good musician, stay true to yourself.
That's right.
But branch out and be a broad...
Yeah.
Just get the music out there.
Just get it out there and make sure it's good.
Yeah.
And make sure it sounds good and the band's putting it off and the arrangements are tight and stuff like that. And I think people respect that if you're coming out there and you have a good product.
Yeah.
Whatever style that you're playing. As long as it's good and you're together, people respect that.
Absolutely. Have you played the concert series before over at Heritage State Park?
I actually did. I did last year. They had... It was kind of a last-minute thing. They threw us in October.
Yeah.
And it was
chilly.
So cold. It was it was the beginning of October, and we were freezing there. My father actually played that gig. And the poor guy, he's standing there in his hands. He couldn't move them on the bass.
Yeah.
He's trying to put the gloves
on.
on.
The fingers when you're that cold, right?
It is. It was chilly. It was chilly. We had the scarves on and the hats, and we're out there playing. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was a fun experience. So this year they're bringing us back, and they got a little, I think, hopefully a warmer date if it doesn't rain out.
Well, chance of.
It was like 20% maybe.
Yeah, and it's going to be partly sunny, so it might be one of those comfortable days. Sun won't be beating down on you.
Which I hope would be, and it would be great. It would be a great thing as well for the audience and stuff like that, because they can bring their own chairs.
Yep.
They're welcome to bring a picnic basket and stuff like that. There's beautiful trails there along the canal in Uxbridge there.
Oh, yeah.
Right around the Blackstone.
Yep.
And they can come earlier, and they can walk that. They have a beautiful, the Voss farmhouses there.
Yep.
With the facilities for folks to use and stuff like that. So it's a great location for a show.
Yep.
And I know that Senator Moore has been maybe working on the idea in trying to get it moving would be to raise funds potentially for some type of a half shell or some type of a performance area there.
Yeah.
Because they have been doing this for several years now, bringing these concerts in July and August. And they're just looking for a place like that to utilize. And I think it'd just be a beautiful place to have that type of pavilion.
Absolutely. Jesse Fontaine, thank you very much. Sunday, 3:30 to 5.
3:30 to 5.
It's the Blackstone Canal Concert Series at Heritage State Park. Always a pleasure to speak to you.
Thank you, Ray.
Can we go out on a song? We just played...
you want to...
what do we got?
You want to throw on Moon Dance, the last track?
Oh, yeah.
Van Morrison, we can see what the mix is with that. This is with my father on bass and Kevin O'Coin on saxophone.
All right, once again, thanks, Jesse. Good to see you, man.
You're welcome. Thank you.
This is Moon.